only test on one day. India, England, Australia. For a lucky big three-side slayer. What a player. What a player. What a player. Discussing zinger bells and white balls to hells. Bagging greens for long from New South Wales. Is the IPL heaven or hell? Will the 100 fail or do quite well? What a player! What a player! What a player!
Being an RCB fan myself, this I think was a very happy half year till now. All-round performances. Your views on RCB? Such a great start for the season. Something different.
Yeah, I think they focused a lot on their the process, if they call it. Even since last year, they started off very well. Last year, they I think they were overwhelmed by the results in the end, and they thought they were really going to make it in the top two, and suddenly kind of slipped away in the last part of the tournament. But I think RCB have been really good with their process, the way they've been recruiting the teams, which is very, very important in an auction. They filled all the right gaps. Yes, in hindsight, you might think the Morris could have added even more value to their team. Jameson has still been very good, and the other factors which a lot of people may not realize is the change of venues. Moving away from Chinnaswamy has really helped RCB in general. That playing 8 matches that pitch or playing 7 matches in those conditions, your bowlers are generally out of the equation, so it becomes more of which team bats better, and they were always dependent on ABD and Kohli, and that was a problem. The moment you went out to a different ground, the bowlers came into the picture. So last year we saw that with moving to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, how useful they were. The bowlers did a good job. Again, this year in tough pitches in Chennai, the bowlers came into the fore. Guys like Harshal Patel became very relevant. The moment you moved to the one game against Chennai, they lost in Wankhede, which was a proper batting wicket. And both the games in Ahmedabad, if I remember right, one game they lost to Punjab, not able to chase down a high score, and the other game they just managed to win in the last ball against Delhi. So I think venue plays a big role from my understanding with respect to how RCB operates. So the more batting friendly venues you play, I think they would tend to struggle. But if the wicket has something for both batsmen and bowlers, then I think players like ABD and Maxwell in that Chennai pitch where everybody was struggling, those two were playing as if it was on a completely different pitch. So they have some really class players, good strategies. They were getting it together. I wouldn't say they had the team which will go on to win the title for sure, but they had everything in place because they had to finish in the top 2, and you had 3 teams, Chennai, Delhi and Bangalore, very closely knit, with Bombay with just 1 win away. When you look at these 4, by the 14th game there could have been a situation where you had Chennai, Delhi, Bangalore and Bombay qualify, but we don't know who would have been the top 2. So I don't know if RCB was yet top 2 material. When I see at the halfway stage, I wouldn't be surprised because they've done really well, and Kohli had not even started really firing. So he would have won you 2 games for sure. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, we'll never know how this turns out.
As you mentioned, the auction is where they hit the gem. To get Maxwell into the team, solve that middle order conundrum was the biggest question mark for them. And Maxwell, surprisingly, hasn't been performing well for the other teams, but steps into RCB and starts doing well straight away.
Yeah, I think that's what sometimes IPL is a different ball game altogether. The culture, the captain, the role given to you, how the importance of the players. So many things are there which can never be quantified. As fans, as people outside, we'll never understand that aspect of the game. It's easy to say that we have paid so much money and you're not performing, but it really depends on how your management takes care and how a captain treats you and what role are you playing. And small things matter in the team success.
We were talking to Vijay Lokpalli and Sabha Karim in one of our match reviews, and they were saying that Kumble had given Maxwell freedom that he can play wherever he wants, but he still deliver. He still didn't deliver, and coming to RCB, he was delivering. Maybe I think the team, like as you mentioned, the culture within the team or something, like how that management treated him, would have definitely helped him, right?
The other thing, Vishak, is that in my view, that Maxwell usually is the most important player in the franchise he's played for, which is Punjab, right? Mainly, but in Bangalore, if you ask me, he's the third most important player there after Kohli and AD. That makes a difference. That reduces a lot of pressure. So in Punjab, if it was, you would always expect Maxwell to come and finish it or Maxwell to come and score. And he came in tough situations. If you remember last season, KL and Mayank batted quite very well. They batted quite a lot of overs. So Maxwell had to come and start hitting from ball one. And small things. So all those things matter a lot. And that kind of changed this season.
Even in one of our shows, I think somebody had mentioned, I think RK, I guess, had come on our show and he mentioned that he struggled to hit a six in the entire season last year. And within 20 balls, he hit a six in this first innings. Definitely made a difference.